की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, entitled The Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter number 1, entitled The First Step in God Realization, text number 34 through 36. Text 34. Ishasya Keshan Vidhur Ambuvahan. Ishasya Keshan Vidhur Ambuvahan. Ishasya Keshan Vidhur Ambuvahan. Vasaha tu sandhyam kuruvarya bhumnaha. Vashastu sandhyam kuruvarya bhumnaha. Vashastu sandhyam kuruvarya bhumnaha. Avyaktam ahur hridayam manascha. Avyaktam ahur hridayam manascha. Avyaktam ahur hridayam manascha. Sa chandramaha sarva vikhara koshaha. Sa chandrama sarva vikhara koshaha. Sa chandrama sarva vikhara koshaha. Isasya keshan vidurambuvahan. Vashastu sandhyam kuruvarya bhumnaha. Avyaktam ahur hridayam manascha. Sa chandrama sarva vikhara koshaha. Sachandrama sarva vikara kosha. Isasya keshan vidurambuvahan. Vashastu sandhyam kuruvarya bhumnaha. Avyaktamahur hridayam manascha. Sachandrama sarva vikara koshaha. Ishasya kesha vidurambuvahan. Vashastu sandhyam kuruvarya bhumnaha. Avyaktamahur hridayam manascha. Sachandrama sarva vikara koshaha. Word to word meaning. Ishasya, of the Supreme Controller. Keshan, hairs on the head. Viduhu, You may know it from me. Ambuvahan, the clouds which carry water. Vasahatu, the dress. Sandhyam, termination of day and night. Kuruvaryam, O best of the Kurus. Bhumnaha, of the Almighty. Avyaktam, the prime cause of material creation. Ahuhu, it is said. Rudayam, intelligence. Manahacha, and the mind. Saha, he. Chandramaha, the moon. Sarva Vikara Koshaha, the reservoir of all changes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O best among the Kurus, the clouds which carry water are the hairs on his head. The termination of days or nights are his dress, and the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence. His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes. Translation with repetition. O best among the Kurus, the clouds which carry water are the hairs on his head. The termination of days and nights are his dress, and the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence. His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes. Verse number 35, I read it myself. Vijnana Shaktim Mahimamananti Sarvatmano Antakaranam Giritram Ashvasyata Ashvavatari Ushtragaja Nakhani Sarve Vrugha Pashavah Shroni Deshe. Translation. The principal matter, Mahat Tattva, is the consciousness of the omnipresent Lord as asserted by the experts. And Rudra Deva is his ego. The horse, mule, camel and elephants are his nails. And the wild animals and all quadrupeds are situated in the belt zone of the Lord. Text number 36. Vayam Sitad Vyakaranam Vichitram Manur Manisha Manujo Nivasaha Gandharva Vidyadara Charana Apsaraha Swarasmritir Asura Anika Viryaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic sense. Manu, the father of mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence, and humanity is his residence. The celestial species of human being like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas and angels all represent his musical rhythm, and the demoniac soldiers are representation of his wonderful prowess. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Purport. The aesthetic sense of the Lord is manifested in the artistic, colorful creation of varieties of birds like peacocks, parrots and cuckoo. The celestial species of human being like the Gandharvas and Vidyadharas can sing wonderfully and can entice even the minds of heavenly demigods. Their musical rhythm represents the musical sense of the Lord. How then can he be impersonal? His musical taste, artistic sense and the standard intelligence, which is never fallible, are different signs of his supreme personality. The Manu Samhita is the standard law book for the humanity, and every human being is advised to follow this great book of social knowledge. Human society is the residential quarters of the Lord. This means that human being is meant for God-realization and association with the God. This life is a chance for the conditioned soul to regain his eternal God consciousness and thus fulfill the mission of life. Maharaj Prahlad is the right type of representative of the Lords in the family of Asuras. None of the living being is away from the Lord's gigantic body. Each and every one has a particular duty in relation to the supreme body. Disruption in the matter of discharging the specific duty assigned to each and every living being is a cause of disharmony between one living being and another. But when the relationship is re-established in relation with the Supreme Lord, there is complete unity between all the living beings, even up to the limit of the wild animals and human society. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed this living unity in the jungle of Madhya Pradesh, where even the tigers, elephants, and many other ferocious animals perfectly cooperated in glorifying the Supreme Lord. That is the way to the peace and amity all over the world. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Hena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam langum pangayate girim yatkrupaataham vande Shri Gurum Dinatharinam. Recently we celebrated 78th year of independence. There were celebrations all over across this country. Everywhere they were hoisting the flag. Every locality, even in our park nearby, all the children assembled, they hoisted the flag. Everyone was having Independence Day flag, the Triranga, on their pockets, on their shoulders. It was a joyous moment. And our Prime Minister also gave a call, Har Ghar Tiranga. So in every house should have one Tiranga. So there was a joyous moment. But around this Independence Day, one unfortunate event happened. That in Kolkata, one duty doctor was raped. So where is the independence? And recently we also saw in Bangladesh, there was a lot of chaos. Around 600 people lost their life. It was about a quota issue. The Supreme Court of Bangladesh, around somewhere in June, July, they said 30% of the reservations in all the government field, in IAS, IPS, should be given to the, anybody knows? To the people who have participated in the Bangladesh liberation movement. It happened in 1971. So the 30% of the quota has to be reserved to them, their children, their grandchildren, all those things. So the students were not happy with this judgment, and there was a protest everywhere. Initially the protest was very pious, very peaceful. Everything was going on, but when the government did not budge, it started becoming violent, and 600 people lost their life. And the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, she fled away from Bangladesh and she came to India and taking shelter. So why these things are all happening? That is what Prabhupada points out in the purport. When the relation, disruption in the matter of the discharge of specific duty assigned to each and every living being is a cause of disharmony between one living being and another living being. But when the relationship is established in relationship with the Supreme, there is completely unity. So we are all meant to do something, but we are doing something else in this world. Our duty we have forgotten, and that is a prime cause. That is what Prabhupada is pointing out in the purport. That is a prime cause of all this disharmony which is happening in this global thing. So Prabhupada is also pointing out, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed this living unity in the jungle of Madhya Pradesh. So when we read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this part is very amazing. In Madhya Leela it is described how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did this. We'll just go through that pastime. In Madhya Leela, when the autumn season came, Mahaprabhu went and met Ramanandaraya and Swarup Damodar. He requested both of them that he wants to go to Vrindavan. But he had one condition, that he want to go all alone this time. He don't want anybody to accompany him. So he asked permission from Swarup Damodar and Ramanandaraya and told them that you happily give me the permission so that I can go. Then Swarup Damodar and Ramanandaraya said, we have no issues, Mahaprabhu, but we have one request that you should follow. Mahaprabhu said, what is that? Take at least one Brahmana with you, one person along with you, so that he can take care of your prasadam related things, because you are passing through the jungles. And Mahaprabhu also told, I don't want to go in the highways and all. I want to go in this jungle route so that people won't recognize him and he can reach Vrindavan in a peaceful atmosphere. So this Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Raya told, okay, you are going in a jungle route. When you are going in jungle, you don't find any Brahmanas in the way. So kindly take one Brahmana with you who can arrange your prasadam, who can beg alms and cook something for you, who can carry your water pot, who can assist you in your journey. So Mahaprabhu, okay, since you both are telling, let me agree to this. So he agreed to this. And he told one condition. Earlier, I don't want anyone who are my associates to accompany me. Because if I take one person, the other person will feel bad. So I want some new person to come with me. Then the devotees were okay, we'll fine, whatever you say is fine. Then they told Balabhadra Bhattacharya. He's a learned Brahmana scholar, and he was appreciating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they appointed Balabhadra Bhattacharya and told to Mahaprabhu that he will come along with you. So he will take care of your needs. Then Mahaprabhu said, okay. But devotees, they want to give more comfort to Mahaprabhu. They said, they requested, if you take one more Brahmana along with you, it will be fine. Because one will cook and one will personally assist you. Then Mahaprabhu said, if I budge to them, then their demands will go on. Then he said, okay. Just said okay and kept quiet there. And then he started preparing himself to go to Vrindavan. The same day he went to Jagannath and asked the permission. So he got the permissions from Vaishnavas, he got the permission from Lord Jagannath. So and the same night, that day night, he woke up little early when everybody was asleep. He woke up and he started to Vrindavan, taking only Balabhadra Bhattacharya. So when he was traveling, as he told, he will just pass through the jungles. He will not take the main route. So when he was passing through the jungles, something unusual things happened. We'll just read it from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada in the translations gives us a very nice understanding. If we just read, the pictures will flow through our eyes. So we'll just read and picturize the entire thing. We can see how beautiful the entire incident was. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the request. Okay. On the previous night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had visited Jagannath and taken his permission. Now near the end of the night, the Lord got up and started immediately. So when the Lord passed through the solitary forest, chanting the holy name of Krishna, the tigers and elephants seeing him gave way. So tigers and elephants gave the way. When the Lord passed through the jungle in great ecstasy, packs of tigers, elephants, rhinoceros and boars came and Lord passed right through them. Balabhadra Bhattacharya was very much afraid to see them, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's influence, all the animals stood on one side. For a common man like Balabhadra Bhattacharya, this was very fearful. Can we imagine when we are going, some tiger coming in front of us and seeing? None of us can imagine. So, but Mahaprabhu, no, they are all part of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu knows perfectly they are. So, but Mahaprabhu was not at all afraid. But when Balabhadra Bhattacharya was seeing all these things, he was afraid. Next, what happened? One day tiger was lying in the path, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, walking along the path in ecstatic love, touched the tiger with his feet. My God. If somebody kicked the tiger, what happens? Everybody knows. The Lord said, chant the holy name of Krishna. What would be the tiger response? Defaultly, it will pounce back. But what did tiger did, you know? The tiger immediately got up and began to dance and chant, Krishna, Krishna. Another day, Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki jai, Shri Gaurnita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Another day, while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was bathing in a river, herd of maddened elephants came there to drink water. While the Lord was bathing and murmuring the Gayatri mantra, the elephants came before him. The Lord immediately splashed some water on elephants and asked them to chant the holy name of Krishna. The elephants, whose body were touched by the water splashed by the Lord, began to chant Krishna, Krishna, and dance and sing in ecstasy. Some of the elephants fell to the ground and some screamed in ecstasy. Seeing this, Balabhadra Bhattacharya was completely astonished. Balabhadra Bhattacharya could not comprehend what is happening with this scene. How come these tigers are, although they were kicked, and when Mahaprabhu said, you chant Krishna, Krishna, tigers started chanting Krishna, Krishna. And when this elephants, when Mahaprabhu splashed the water on the elephant's body, and just by the touch of the water, they become ecstatic and they started dancing, they started chanting. All these things he could not comprehend. And some things also happened. Some of the elephants, okay. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted very loudly while passing through the jungle. Hearing his sweet voice, all the deers came near him. Hearing the Lord's great vibration, all the deers followed him left and right while reciting a verse. With great curiosity, Lord patted them. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was passing through the jungle, 5 or 7 tigers came, joining the deers. The tigers began to follow the Lord. Seeing the tigers and deer following him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately remembered the land of Vrindavana. He then began to recite a verse describing the transcendental quality of Vrindavan. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, chant Krishna, Krishna, the tigers and deers began to chant. When all the tigers and deers danced and jumped, Balabhadra Bhattacharya saw them and was struck with wonder. Indeed, the tigers and deer began to embrace one another and touching their mouth, they began to kiss each other. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw all this fun, he began to smile. Finally, he left the animals and continued his way. Tigers and deers, can they coexist? Deer is the food of a tiger. But here what we are seeing, they are dancing together and they did, they embraced each other and touching the mouth, they kissed each other. See what is happening? All this can happen only in the presence of the Lord. And then various birds, not only the tigers and lions and deers and elephants, various birds, including the peacock, saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and began to follow him, chanting and dancing. They were all maddened by the holy name of Krishna. When the Lord chanted loudly, Haribol, the trees and creepers became jubilant to hear him. Thus all the living entities in the forest of Jharikanda, some moving and some standing still, became maddened by hearing the holy name of Krishna vibrated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling in the land, what used to happen, some people used to come to have darshan. Oh, some sadhu is going, like that. So when they come, just saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were induced by the ecstasy of Krishna. They were induced by Krishna Prema. And they start chanting Hare Krishna. And not only they start chanting Hare Krishna, and when they go back to their villages, they start preaching the others, you also chant Hare Krishna. And in this way, the entire world was transformed. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. So he is the most merciful incarnation of the Lord. His mercy is not limited to most fallen human beings like us. It was extended to whom and all it was extended? Lions, tigers, deers, peacocks. In one more incident, and this is while Mahaprabhu had gone to Vrindavan. So after we all knew that Mahaprabhu had made a headquarters in where? Jagannath Puri. Because his mother had requested Mahaprabhu to stay in Jagannath Puri and start his activities, preaching activities he can do. So Mahaprabhu had made the headquarters of him in Jagannath Puri. So wherever, suppose the Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, he used to come back to Puri. Mahaprabhu visited South India, he used to come back to Puri because the Puri was his headquarters, because he promised his mother. So after visiting Vrindavan, Mahaprabhu again came back to Jagannath Puri. This news was broadcasted by Swarup Damodar that Mahaprabhu came back to Puri. And devotees in West Bengal, they were all waiting when Mahaprabhu will come back and they can go and have darshan of Mahaprabhu. So when the news came that Mahaprabhu came to Bengal, Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan, the devotees in Bengal, majorly Navadvip, all those people started to for Jagannath Puri to have darshan of the Lord. Not only Navadvip people, the people from Kulina Grama and Srikanda and also Advaita Acharya and all other devotees surrounding Navadvip, they also started to Jagannath Puri to have darshan of Mahaprabhu. So when they thought of going, they approached Shivananda Sena, because the Shivananda Sena is usually the tour coordinator. So whenever they want to go, we also have a Yatra department. One of the devotees is a coordinator. Likewise, whenever they want to go to Jagannath Puri, they all came to Shivananda Sena and requested him to coordinate the trip, their Yatra from Bengal to Puri. So Shivananda Sena is expert in organizing this Yatra. So he made all the he arranged everything, all the residence, prasadam, how to go, everything he arranged. So when they were traveling like this, one dog joined their company. This Shivananda Sena noticed this, but anyway, let him join. Anyway, Vaishnavas, the group of Vaishnavas, so many things can happen. So this dog also can get benefited by traveling with Vaishnavas, hearing the holy names. Like that, he allowed the dog also to travel with them. So he was taking care of the dog nicely, Shivananda Sena. He was feeding them, he was maintaining it, everything he used to take care. So one day, what happened? The Bihar, Orissa and Bengal, there is, basically in Bengal, Ganges river flows. And usually when they need to cross over the river, the only way is boat. So when they come to the bank of the river, they were supposed to cross over to the other side. Then the boatman did not allow this dog to come. Then Shivananda Sena was very disappointed. Somehow he wanted the dog also to accompany them, be in the association of Vaishnavas. And he was confident that when this dog sees Mahaprabhu darshan, his life will be successful. So he paid some extra money to the boatman. Please allow the dog also to come so that, it will get benefited. So boatman was enticed by Shivananda Sena, and somehow he allowed the dog also to travel in the boat. So dog was traveling with Shivananda Sena wherever it goes. So it so happened that when they reached one toll booth, now we have everywhere in the toll plazas. So during that time they had some arrangement of tolls, collecting the tolls. So they came, they stopped the entire group. So Shivananda Sena told everybody carry on, I will just deal with the person. So everybody they went ahead and they were given the residential quarters and whatever the prasadam time. So everybody was doing their own things. And Shivananda Sena was dealing with this person in the toll booth. So it became a delay there. So Shivananda Sena came back. It was almost evening by the time he came back. And when he came back, he was honoring prasadam. Then he suddenly remembered, the dog, where is the dog? What happened to the dog? Did you feed the dog? Like that he asked one of his servant. Then the person said, oh, I totally forgot to feed the dog. And dog was also missing. He would have searched for food and gone away. So then this Shivananda Sena was very much upset. He stopped taking prasadam. He said, first you people go and find out the dog. Where the dog is. First you go everybody go and search for the dog. Then they all went. It was night by the time. They all went, but they came back and said, we could not find the dog. Shivananda Sena was very much unhappy. He said, okay, I will fast today. I will also not take anything. I will fast. Then he fasted the entire night. Next day morning, immediately he told, let us all go and search. So he went personally and searched for the dog, but he could not find the dog. So he was not happy. He missed an opportunity for giving the benefit to the dog. So what happened? ठीक है, he was not happy, he carried on the possession, like they started back to forward to the Jagannath Puri, and they reached the Puri and they were having darshan of the Lord. And when the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw all these people have come from Bengal, Kulina, Grama, Srikanda and all, he was very happy because some of them were his mother Sachi was also there in those group. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu welcomed them and he took them everybody to Jagannath Darshan, and after the Jagannath Darshan, Mahaprabhu brought them back and gave them Mahaprasadam to everybody. So likewise that day went off. So the day they came, they had darshan of Jagannath, they took prasadam with Mahaprabhu. Some small association Mahaprabhu gave, and they were given the quarters, the rooms. They were given the rooms, go take rest, you are all traveling like that. So they all retired for the day. Next day morning, when everybody woke up, they saw something unusual. The dog which was missing with them, they found sitting very near to Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was throwing some green coconuts on it, and dog was catching that coconut. And Mahaprabhu said, whenever Mahaprabhu used to say, chant Hari, then the dog was telling Hari, Hari. So these people were all very happy. Oh my God, we lost a dog there. But somehow this dog has come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right place it has come, where we wanted it to be there. So Shivananda Sena, when he saw this, he was also very happy. Finally, anyway, he was not attached to the dog like that, but he wanted to give some benefit to the dog. So same thing has happened here also. So the dog was sitting next to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was throwing the camphor prasadam, remnants of some prasadam, it was also taking. And when Mahaprabhu was telling chant Hari, the dog was also chanting Hari's name. And seeing this, everybody was happy. And the day they visited some other places and they retired for the day. And next day, nobody could see where the dog went. They were searching, where is this dog? It was yesterday, it was a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. Today, what happened to the dog? And they found out that dog actually had gone back to Goloka Vrindavan in his original form. So this is the power of association. This is the power of prasadam. This is the power of Vaishnava sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoya. Even a small moment of sadhu sangha, we can achieve success in our life. Just like dog, just like these animals in this Charikanda forest. All was Mahaprabhu there in Charikanda forest for a long time? No. He was with, maybe while passing through for Vrindavan, he was there. This dog was there with Shivananda Sena for a few days, and with Mahaprabhu for a few days, it got liberated. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, even though next life, if it is something is there, I should be born in the association of Vaishnavas. Even though my karma is bad, let me be born in some of the corners of this Vaishnava's house. But because I will be safe. Otherwise, there is no hope for all of us. So somehow, we should aspire to remain in the association. Sadhu Sangha is very important. We can imagine ourselves how we were and now how we are because of Sadhu Sangha. Right? So Sadhu Sangha is very important. And here we are seeing how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful, blessings animals, creatures like dogs. See, these dogs are muchi animals. They are not at all accepted. You know why? Dogs are not accepted. Any animal we can accept, but these dogs, because these dogs have the habit of passing urine on Tulsi Marani. That is why they are considered untouchable. They are not at all accepted because they pass the stool on Tulsi Marani. It is not, and she is a pure devotee of Lord. So this is not at all accepted. So dogs are totally unaccepted in Vedic literature. Such unacceptable creation is liberated by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So our hope is also Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only, for us to rectify our doggish mentality, our mentality like tiger, elephants, all those mentality. Our hope is only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should fervently pray for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that let us all, our consciousness should be given up. And for that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So by chanting this mantra, all our mentalities like doggish mentality might be there, or a tigerish mentality might be there, all the animalistic mentalities will go off. And one more thing is, in this chapter, the whole discussion is happening on the form of the Lord. It's a universal form actually. Virat Purusha form explanation is happening in this first chapter. Actually, this is in the answer, this is in the question to the Parikshit Maharaj's query. This answer is given. Shukdev Goswami is discussing all these things because Parikshit asked him the question, how we can realize the God. These three questions at the end of the first canto he asked. For in the answer to this, Shukdev Goswami is telling all these things. So he is telling the first step in the God realization is to understand the Virat Rupa of the Lord. That is the basic step. The same thing is explained in Srimad Bhagavad Gita also, the Virat Rupa, where in the 11th chapter, universal form. So the Lord showed the universal form. To whom he showed? Arjuna. So when he showed the universal form, what was Arjuna's reaction? He was happy. He was happy. Oh, such a nice form you have showed me. He was telling, such a fearful form. And he starts describing, Aneka Bahudara Vaktra Netram Pashyami. He is telling, I am seeing so millions of eyes, millions of arms. All these things I am seeing. And this form is not at all very pleasing for me. Please come back to your original form. Like that he asked. Then Lord told, okay. Then Lord displayed his 400 form. And then at last Lord displayed his 200 form of Shyam Sundaram. So description of these forms have been given in the Shastras. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 28th chapter, where Kapila Deva is explaining to his mother, Devahuti, he is telling, how do we have to associate with this form? How do we have to meditate on this form? Is explained very detailedly by Kapila Deva in 3rd canto, 28th chapter. Let us just go through that verses for all of us, because it will help us to relate more with the Lord. When we come in front of the Lord, we can relate what Kapila Deva has told and try to meditate as per his guidance. Kapila Deva says, Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of, okay. So yesterday was Varalakshmi Nombu, right? Some of them worshipped Lakshmi Ji. And Lakshmi Ji is known for what? Serving the Lord's lotus feet. Her work is, she always massages the lotus feet of the Lord. And when she is massaging, how Bhagavatam describes, she carefully massages. She carefully massages the lotus feet of the Lord. So, this is the service attitude you should have. This Lakshmi Ji is demonstrating what should be the service attitude. When some service is given, just for the sake of doing, we should not do. Like how Lakshmi Ji is doing, carefully she is massaging the lotus feet of the Lord. So we should also, with utmost care and attention, we have to do the service. And serving, even chanting of Hare Krishna is also the service. So Prabhupada says, carefully you chant Hare Krishna mantra. With attention you chant Hare Krishna mantra. With faith you chant Hare Krishna mantra. So we should follow that, as demonstrated by Goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi Ji herself. So, and then Lakshmi Ji is serving the lotus feet. And Shiva, what is the meaning of Shiva? The word Shiva? Auspiciousness. The auspicious Lord Shiva becomes more auspicious. How? Because he carries something on his head. What is that? Ganges. And what is this Ganges water? This water is nothing but the water which has washed the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. So such is the power. The Shiva only become the most auspicious by just holding the water which has washed the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. So how do we have to meditate on such a lotus feet? And is being given. So the lotus feet of the Lord is adorned with special marks like banner, thunderbolt and lotus. The splendor of the beautiful ruby nails resemble the orb of the moon and dispel the thick glooms of one's heart. Our heart is already filled with so much of 30 things. Just when we saw have the darshan of the Lord's lotus feet, and when we see his nails, which are which is very which has the splendor of the rubies, what will happen? Our thick gloom of one's heart, which is having so much of things are there, will be gone. Then what we should do next? Then we should go to the thighs. And this thighs is a storehouse of all energy. The Lord's thighs, the storehouse of all energy. The Lord's thighs, how do the thighs appears? The color is whitish blue. It's like a luster of linseed flower and appears most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. So Garuda, when Lord is sitting on the Garuda, his thighs will be very majestic. And how it is? What is the color of the thighs? Whitish blue. And is the storehouse of all energy. Then next we should meditate on the hips. The hips of the Lord is encircled by the girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down to ankles. So the Lord always is a Pitambara Dhari. Always wears yellow garments. So his garments will start from where? Waist, and it will go till the ankles. And around his hips we see a girdle. Here also we have decorated our Dwarakadish also is having the same thing, but not today. Yellow garments are not there. He's wearing which color garments? Purple color garments. So, but his dhoti is extending till the ankle, and also girdle is there. And next we have to meditate on the moon-like navel, which is in the center of his abdomen. From his navel, what is coming out from his navel? Lotus is coming out. And lotus is the house of whom? Brahma sits there. And in the stem of the lotus, what all comes? Planetary system, 14 planetary systems. So such is a powerful thing of his navel, power of his navel. And we have to meditate on such a navel, which is the residence of Lord Brahma. Then Lord's nipple, which resembles the pair of most exquisite emeralds, and which appear whitish because of the rays of milk white pearl necklaces around his chest. So next after meditating on the navel, we have to meditate on the Lord's nipple, and after meditating of Lord's nipple, we have to meditate on the chest of the Supreme Lord. So what is the chest of the Supreme Lord? Chest is abode of whom? Lakshmi ji, goddess of fortune, Mother Lakshmi ji. So it's abode of the goddess of Mahalakshmi. The Lord's chest is a source of all transcendental pleasure for the mind and full satisfaction for the eyes. So the chest is the source of transcendental pleasure, and it gives full satisfaction for the eyes. Next we have to meditate on the neck. Neck of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is adored by the entire universe. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of Kaustuba gem, which hangs on his chest. Lord wears Kaustuba, right? So that neck increases the beauty of this gem, Kaustuba gem. And then Lord's forearms, which are the source of all powers of the demigods, who controls the various functions of the material nature. After meditating on the neck, we have to meditate on Lord's forearms. And this arms is the source of all powers for the demigods. And demigods, who are the demigods? They are the controlling people. So such is the power of the arms. Then next we have to meditate on the polished ornaments. Next we have to meditate on Lord's disc. What is the name of Lord's disc? Chakra of Lord Sudarshana, which contain how many spokes? 1000 spokes, and it is very bright. Next we have to meditate on conch. This conch is whitish in color, and it looks like a swan in the lotus palm of the Lord. Of course, we don't have the 400 form of the Lord. We are having the 200 form, Shyama Sundara form of the Lord. Kaumudaki is a club and is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons who are always inimical and is smeared with their blood. So the club all is ready to protect the devotees by smashing the non-devotees. And then nice garland. So you can see Lord is adorned with how many garlands? Dwarkadish? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? 4 garlands are there? Correct? So 4 garlands are there on the leg of the Lord, and in which is always surrounded by bumblebees and their nice buzzing fragrant flowers. So we should meditate on the garland of the Lord. Next we have to meditate on the pearl necklace of the Lord, which is worn on the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in His service. Next we have to meditate on the face of the Lord, which represents His different forms in this world out of compassion and for devotees. Out of compassion for the devotees, He has come, and we have to meditate on the lotus face of the Lord. Next, His nose. His nose is prominent, and His crystal clear cheeks are illuminated by the oscillation of His glittering alligator-shaped earrings. What is the shape of the earrings of the Lord? Lasat Kundalam. In Damodara Ashtaka we sing, no? Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamanam. So he always wears the alligator, that fish, right? Fish. Alligator is fish? Crocodile. Crocodile. Fish also we can say. In Lord everything coincides. Okay. And then beautiful face of the Lord, which is adorned with curly hair and decorated with lotus-like eyes and dancing eyebrows. The lotus surrounded by swarming bees and a pair of swimming fish would put to shame by his elegance. Then we have to meditate on compassionate glances, frequently cast by the Lord's eyes, for they soothe the most fearful threefold agonies of His devotees. His glances, accompanied by His loving smiles, are full of abundant grace. So we should not miss to see the Lord's glances and Lord's smiles. So when we see, what will happen? What will happen when we see the Lord's glance and smile? All our this soothe the most fearful threefold agonies of His devotees. We are all constantly tossed by the threefold miseries, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, Adi Devika. Every moment it will hit us. But when we see the glances and the smile of the Lord, we can be freed from all these kleshas, all these threefold miseries, and we can be happy. And the last, but the next part is a benevolent smile. This smile, for all those who bow to Him, dries away the ocean of tears caused by the intense grief. This word is what is banded as Dukkalayam Ashashvatam. Everywhere there will be problem. But when we see the Lord smile, it will dry away all the miseries of this, and it will become happy. Then His eyebrows. Eyebrows, what is the eyebrows? Which are the manifestation, which are manifested by His internal potency in order to charm the sex god for the god of the good of the sages. So by just meditating on the eyebrows, what happens? All our urges will be met. Next, the laughter of Vishnu. The laughter of Vishnu is so captivating that it can easily be meditated upon. When the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see His small teeth, which resembles the jasmine buds, rendered rosy by the splendor of His lips. Once devoting his mind to this, yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. So by meditating on this, we should aspire, we should know that this is the highest form, which is the transcendental form, and we should not aspire to see any other form of the Lord and get carried away, or of the Maya also, any other forms, we should not get carried away. And we are very fortunate, Srila Prabhupada has introduced, for these reasons only Prabhupada has introduced deity worship. Even though none of us are qualified to worship the deities, Srila Prabhupada introduced this deity worship for getting all these benefits. So we should all come before Dwarakadish. We should actually appreciate his mercy. He is present before us. We should accept that He is so merciful, and meditate as how the Bhagavatam is saying as to how to meditate upon Dwarakadish on the form of Lord, and take advantage of this. So these are some of the points which I could think of with my limited intelligence. Thank you. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.